Oh, let me check this out. So, I got
A lesson worth more than any textbook? Well, 39 states are now making a change, mandating courses on personal finance over generic economics. The courses include teaching students about 401k's, paying their credit cards, and mapping out their loan payments. I mean, this feels like a no-brainer to me. Research from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York backs it up, showing students who learn personal finance actually make better decisions.
Wow. Wow. Oh, rocket science. Ooh. See, the difference between certain communities, I'm going to tell you. Certain communities, their parents teach them this when they're young. 15, 16. Their grandparents may say, hey, Scott, I'm going to give you $1,000. I'm going to show you that 1,000 supposed to, 500 supposed to go here. 250 goes here. This here. This is why we do it. I had to do that with my kids to explain to them, this is why we invest. This is why we put it here and not here. This is why we're protected here and not here. This is why it's wide open. This is why people can do this. So when you try to teach them at home, which I believe it should be something that parents do at home, but the reality of it is most parents don't have the skills to actually do it, because money management is a completely different skill than life living skills. Just because you live doesn't mean you know how to manage money. That's it. That's a skill. And then within that skill, there are certain skills in that. Same thing as a realtor. Just because you're a realtor doesn't mean you have the skills dealing with investors, dealing with buyers, dealing with sellers. You just got the skills. So, I mean, you just have a certain level of skills. So we have to look at it like that. And it's no pun to the parents. I'm telling y'all, parents, it's no pun to y'all. It's no pun. It's no attack against y'all, because you only know what you know. You only can do what you can do. That's it. Plain and simple. So the school now has to step in. But the dangerous portion is parents should be learning that don't know. And when you don't learn, then your kids tend to suffer. There's a scripture that says, my people destroy for lack of knowledge. And I throw wisdom in there too.
Down debt, refinancing, and building real stability. This is one I got to come to you first on, Kevin, because the most successful business person at the table right now. How did you learn finance? Where was it? Was it in school or in the industry when you actually started working?
Well, I used to work in education, providing all the software to 110,000 school buildings in America. We did nothing except advance math and reading scores for testing to get into college eventually through the high school system. So we never did any finance. I learned all my financial knowledge from my mother. Mm-hmm. So, you know, she kind of gave it to me when I was maybe 15 onwards. Yeah. Families generally did that, but we are loath.
This is generational wealth. This is the true generational wealth. Generational wealth, and I hate seeing when people say it, they throw it around, and it's great to hear because it's a cliche now. True generational wealth is actually knowledge and wisdom passed from one place to the next. That's why after certain generations, the wealth starts to deteriorate, because the prior generation did not possess the information that the original creator of the wealth possessed, or they never practiced it, or they heard it, but they got but so much of it. And it wasn't that it wasn't available to them. It's just like anything else. It's not going to chase you down. You have to pursue it. You have to seek it. That's how you've got wealthy families like the Rockefellers, like Carnegie, like some of them were able to transfer that wisdom down, but up to a certain point. And it's not do this and get that, but more or less a mind, a thought pattern, a mind frame, a thinking pattern. When I learned this, I'm without a shadow of a doubt always talking to my kids about money, always talking to them about things, whether there's an abundance of it or a lack of it, whether they have an opportunity to get credit or not, whether they are opening a business or not. I can give them what I know, but this is one thing that separates our age that we're living in from the age of the Industrial Revolution and some of these other places. We've got YouTube. We've got YouTube. We've got social media. We've got the internet with free courses that are out there that we can learn ourselves and tell, or we can send them to learn from people who know more than we do. And that's what we should do. It's not necessarily knowing everything, but finding the information, having access to it to be able to execute upon it.
To give, because it was really credit card debt that kills kids when they get their credit card at 18. And Florida was the first state to bring that in to lower school. And then New York, then Texas, then California. And still today, we don't have the teachers to teach it.
Yes.
Because, and I get so much abuse when I say this, we don't need a union for teachers. We need merit-based hiring. And there's so many great teachers that aren't paid what they're worth, and so many really, really bad ones that are still hanging in, that have those jobs, that are crushing the poor students they're teaching.
Yeah.
I can't say enough bad stuff about it. Okay, bring on the abuse. Let's get all those.
I'm not going to abuse you. I'm the son of a school teacher.
And he's right. The creativity that a teacher has to be able to share that knowledge with a younger mind, that's more important than anything else. And that's why I get excited about AI and things like that, because I believe there's going to be a certain point where they create teachers through AI, and the human portion is just there to actually monitor and make sure that the AI stays on task and doesn't deviate from outside of the boundaries that is set, and portrays the right, channels the right information. I always say you can't really learn money from people that only make about 30, 40,000 a year. And they may know how to save, may know a little bit about investing, but you got to be honest, like most of them coming out of high school, coming out of colleges, they're young also. They haven't had enough life experience to really execute upon what they know. They only can tell you what they know.
And I would agree with you wholeheartedly. My mom, slaved away for 32 years working in a profession where she wasn't rewarded for the efforts that she put in. And
most valuable job we have in society. They should. A good teacher should make $1 million, and I would want to pay them more, merit-based. And,
so
a bad teacher should be gone.
What do you think of this former teacher, professor, and this gap, right? There's no pre-qualifications to teach personal finance. Does that impact outcomes potentially?
Well, I mean, people who would be good at teaching personal finance don't want to go through the grinder of becoming a public school teacher because it's a waste of time. They just want to teach a class, right? Let them come in and do it. I think that's why you don't get the best people teaching these classes. I mean, ultimately,
I think that's just like with real estate. People who can actually find, calculate, evaluate good property don't want to be agents, because when they find those properties and they give it to someone or share it with someone, they're limited either by the 3% that they pay them or the 2% that they pay them. And let's be honest, you're only helping one person at a time. If you plan on being successful off of that, you have to find a way to do it in mass. But it doesn't benefit them. It benefits them more to go and to be practitioners of it, in opposed to someone who serves someone or teaches them while they're serving them how to actually find or pick a right property.
I think you should have people taking both economics classes and personal finance classes. The problem is, in public schools, economics classes are increasingly taught with this really heavy Keynesian equity bent to it. And so you'd say, oh, good, students learn economics. No, they're not. They're learning like a Marxist ideology masquerading as economics, and it actually destroys their ability to make good financial decisions. So I see personal finance as a way around that. Forget about the theory. Let's talk about the practicality of where you put your money.
Well, that's an interesting point. Is there a difference between practice and theory, right? That's that great Yogi Berra quote. It's,
Yeah, and there is a big difference between practice and theory, because the more you practice, you iterate upon your theory and your whatever you're executing on. But hey, I'm gonna stop it right there, because at the end of the day, I do believe that we're gonna be in a place where we're gonna have to evaluate our teachers and who's actually teaching our children.